All right. Okay, I should be live. Let's do this. Let's jump in and let's do another Friday night. So, Friday night, 9 p.m., Fandom with Reploid Bill, normal stream. I've been doing this consistently once a week, so if you have any interest whatsoever, if you found this video later and you want to make this a normal thing, 9 p.m. Central Time. That's when we've been doing this. Here we are, and this is just same as it always is. If you're new here, if you discover this video later, whatever, we window shop, we hang out, we talk, we just discuss toys. Sometimes I open a couple things, whatever. That's the deal. There we go. All that out of the way. I'm not going to drop information or tell you where to find me or all that other stuff like that. I'm not going to beg for subs. You feel like doing that? You feel like doing that. So, here I am just flashing Pepsi like I'm freaking, what do you call it, sponsored or something. Not even close to sponsored. I don't even have a prayer of sponsorship going on in this show. Anyways, doing all right. Did have a bit of an issue. If people follow me on Instagram, or if people follow me on TikTok or whatever, I did have a bit of an issue over there. I bought a oh my gosh. She-Hulk, sorry, from the Build-A-Figure Super Scroll wave from Marvel Legends. I bought one. I thought I did anyway. Turns out I did not. I don't know exactly what happened exactly. I don't. Here, I'll tell you the story. Okay, this is what happened, and it kind of blows my mind. It really does. This is the first time that this has happened to me on an Amazon vendor. Normally, and I've had this problem with Walmart and other things like that. You got to watch yourself on something like eBay and whatnot, because it's a giant garage sale. We understand that. We knew that from the get-go. Amazon is one of those networks that kind of feels like a business, and maybe you need to it feels like you need to be a little bit more of a business to be in it, to be selling in it, or maybe there would be repercussions and you'd be booted from it quickly. I don't know. But so this has never happened to me. I've never signed on to one of these and gotten a bad product. But I found a vendor and I bought what I thought was going to be the She-Hulk from the Build-A-Figure Super Scroll line. And when she showed up, she was not right. Like, that's, I'm telling you, that's putting it mildly. That's that is putting it mildly. Let me, because maybe I can actually show this to you real quick. Because this is kind of wild, at least in my opinion. It feels wild. So anyways, let me take you over to my Instagram real quick, just for the sake of, and I'll showcase exactly what it is that I'm talking about real quick. I believe this, yes. Okay, so I'm going to take you over to my Instagram real quick, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Whoop. So, anyways, there's me. Look at me. This is what happened. This is the video right here. It's got some stuff already on it. Like I said, it's not huge. This just happened not way too long ago. But like, look at this right here. This is kind of wild to me anyways. But it showed up and I thought, yeah, for sure, right? And then, how do I put this? I'm pretty sure that when Marvel Legends released She-Hulk, they did not release her topless. That's what I'm going to, because this kind of blew my mind. I took her out of the bag. I said, yes. I turned her around, and then That's what I got. She has no shirt. And there's other things that are wrong here. After actually comparing the product with Mega J Retro, he showed me a picture of another one and showed me that the paint app should definitely be a little bit different than this. So this paint app is not right. Also, later on, I discovered that the Super Scroll hand in there. Oh, you can. Is that any better? I don't know. That's for what. Well, there. I don't know. If you can't hear me, I don't know exactly why. Because I've got spikes here. So I'm not 100% sure what would be going on. And I've got everything turned up and everything. Maybe I just wasn't leaning into the mic. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I couldn't believe it. Later on, as I looked through the figure, I did start to figure out that there were other things wrong with it. Like the feet are wrong. Like the feet are wrong. They're like fuzzy feet. Like they're definitely not the right feet on that figure. And the Super Scroll hand is also not the right arm. The invisible one is, but the other one is not. There's supposed to be like a normal arm and then the big invisible punch arm. Well, the big invisible punch arm looked right as far as I could tell, but the other arm was not right. It was not a closed fist. It's like a weird, slightly open hand, and it's got all these like spikes and everything all over it, and I don't know what arm that is, but it's not the right one. So, needless to say, this had to go. I've already sent it back. I got a refund for it, and I found another vendor, and I'm gonna try my luck again and see if maybe I luck out, because I have no clue. It's just wild to me. It really is. It blows me away in all honesty, because like that was not something I was expecting at all. That's the first time that I've had that problem from an Amazon vendor. Like, but hey, I guess it happens. So what's up? We got you hanging out in here today. You will be excited to know that we have our second. We have our. We come back. We come back on Fandom Night tomorrow. It's already worked out. I got a couple of things. I got a couple of things that I have to work out in the editing department to guarantee that the episode works right. But it's ready. We go live tomorrow, so we'll be back. I don't know if I fixed this. You haven't said anything since then, but I did move the mic and I did adjust the volume on the mic a little bit. Otherwise, I don't know what would be causing low spikes, because it seems like I've got spikes on my end. Yeah, I don't. It's so wild. I like the gray She-Hulk that released in that wave. I really do. And there's a color variant of her, which is pretty expensive at this point, where they actually do her in green and they give her 2 different heads. And I could get that as well, but I don't mind the fact that it's the gray She-Hulk. She-Hulk isn't exactly a character that I'm gunning to have on the shelf. It's not like something that I'm absolutely dragging for, but I would like her on the shelf, especially because she is part of the Build-A-Scroll the Build-A-Super Scroll line. And I want that. To me, she looks like a fantastic figure. And like I said, I'm not super stuck on She-Hulk in any way whatsoever. I'm not like a huge mega fan or anything like that. I don't follow her comics or anything. I had a buddy that did for a while, but I never necessarily got fully into the She-Hulk thing. My association with her is through the Fantastic Four, and so since I wasn't going to go out of my way, but I want Super Scroll, and she's part of that line, and I like the entire Build-A-Figure Super Scroll line. Like, I like every single one of them. I like the Black Suit Fantastic Four. I like, of course, Doctor Doom, and I liked that She-Hulk. And so that's the first bump in the road that I've come across. I got Doctor Doom, And I have the thing coming, and it's from a vendor that I bought from before, so I feel like that one is going to be fine. And then the other, and then now I've had to send She-Hulk back, and I'm going to try through another vendor, and hopefully I get a real one this time, one that I can actually use. And then I will move on. Mr. Fantastic seems to be the one that's going to cost me the most. I seem to be finding him in the $60 and $70 range. Pretty expensive, but for a set that's out of print, I imagine it's not Mr. Fantastic that's costing the money. I imagine what's actually costing the money in terms of that is probably going to be the part that it comes with. That's what I would assume anyways. So let's see. Oh, you got a road trip going on. So well, I will say this, it's not going to be a normal episode, and you can easily watch it at any time. And it won't be an episode where we focus on a lot of fan communication, just to let you know, but we'll be talking about that tomorrow when the episode goes live. Yes, normally I would 100% agree with you. I also find Amazon fairly reliable. I don't when I used what is it? You could tell I'm at the end of my night. When I used Walmart, I found a lot of fake crap. And of course, you got to be careful when you use something like eBay and whatnot, because that's what it is. You got to look out. You got to know that you're at a garage sale or a tricky vendor site. And you just got to buy with a little bit of smarts, and you got to make sure that don't buy from anybody that's using stock photos. They need to actually be posting their real stuff and yada yada. So all that's fine. And with Amazon, I've done really well. Every single thing that I've ever bought from Amazon up to this point has been right. It's worked perfectly. I've had no issues whatsoever. Then, out of nowhere, I got that like fake She-Hulk, like that bruised, broken fake She-Hulk, like the feet weren't right. There's so much that was wrong when I got to looking at her, and it really, really, really bothered me. Let's see. But no, seriously, the chat delay, I choose when these go up on the screen, if that's what you're asking. I have a chat over to the sidebar, but I'm not going on to new chat messages until I've finished speaking with the last chat message and then trying to give people a chance, and it grays out the things that I've clicked on that have actually already been here. So I have control over that. If you think that like the chat is delayed, I am on relatively a 15-second delay as to what I say comes across your feed about 15 seconds late. I know that because I use that delay specifically. So it's anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds. So it's not like what you're turning it into, like half 1/4 of a year or whatever. You're being a little ridiculous. So in terms of that, I've had my issues with Prime Video. I am tired of clicking on Prime Video things just to have it tell me that I need to buy it or rent it. If I'm paying for Prime and you're offering me all this stuff, trying to act like a Netflix service, either have the stuff on there or don't. Period. If you want to put it on the store part of Amazon Prime, and then I understand that it's on the store and I buy it digitally or I buy it physically, whatever, and it comes to me, that's fine. But I get real tired of every other movie I click on constantly tells me, oh, nope, you're going to have to rent this one. You're going to have to buy this one. That happens all the time. I head over to my dad's, and my dad is like, let's watch something. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. We got a couple hours to burn. And we'll click on like nine movies back to back. Nope, got to buy it. 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 It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Also, got my King Grayskull today. That is awesome. Yes, you are absolutely right. That's awesome. Awesome figure. Nice surprise. Haven't gotten any notifications on anything. I just got my notification when I went out to eat. So I got off work, went out to eat, got an email. The email said, your Eternia has shipped. And I was like, yes. Yes, that is so good. I can't wait. Man, I am overly hyped. I don't I think I figured out how I am going to store it, in all honesty. I've been thinking about this for a while. I think that right back there on the top shelf, which you can't see, but the top shelf right up there is where it's going to go. Now this is not a super huge shelf, but it's enough that if I split the towers up without the tracks, like I do the track where it just goes around the main Eternia, so I'll set it up one time in the big giant display where I can watch it trail all around and everything. Then, in order to store it in this room with me, because I really don't want to put it downstairs right now, to keep it in this room with me, I'm going to put it up there. And I'm going to put that single track where it's the circle track around the main tower, and I'll put all three of them up there. If not, I'll put one over there, and because there's two bookshelves that are going up over there, I'll put one tower here, and one tower there. And so then it'll be like Eternia is around the room. It'll be really cool. I'm actually looking forward to it. I can't wait to have Eternia. I know people have been like up and down about whether they're happy about it. But man, I'm telling you right now, I'm excited. Like I'm thrilled to have Eternia. As far as I'm concerned, I know it's not the original, but this was my chance to own it. It's like having a chance at a grail that I simply was not going to be able to own. It wasn't going to happen for me. I can't spend $2,000 something on a single thing. And I wasn't going to piece it together over the course of multiple years. This was it. They said, hey, want to buy it? Yes. Yeah, I want to buy it. Take my money. No, it is. It's YouTube being trash as usual. That's fair, actually. No, you haven't missed anything, man. Nope. We're literally just getting started. As topics come in, I'm going to talk about them, and we're just going with the chat mainly today. I got the notice that Eternia is on the way. I'm super excited. It's so awesome, man. Also, what your Prime Video? No, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. And maybe it's because of the things that me and my dad like want to watch. It happens a lot with me and my dad. Like if I want to watch like the Legend of Vox Machina or whatever, I know it's there. It's like a Prime exclusive thing. It's going to work. I click on it, I watch it. But like every other thing that appears in the chat bars, and it'll be like, we suggest that you watch this. I'll click on it. And then it'll be like, oh, would you like to rent this or buy this? And I'm like, no. I would like that if it appears in your chat engine, if it appears in your search engine, it should just be available. Like I pay for the service. What am I paying for? I don't know. It's crazy. But I could just be complaining like an old man too. I've been clearing out space. I plan on dedicating an entire wall to a Motu display. Hey, I completely understand. I've got a couple of shelves already. I've got that shelf, and then two shelves over here, and another shelf that I'm setting up right up there, which is all exactly that's exactly what it's going to go. Sure, it's going to fit on that shelf. The main tower is super big, and I am considering that. So if that turns out to not be a go, I have an alternate plan as well. But we're going to see how this goes before I panic about something, because it is pretty big. But this shelf is how do I put this? It's misleading, I guess, is the best way to put it. It looks rather small, especially on camera, but it's got a decent amount of depth to it, to where if I can't get away with it, and there is a chance that I can't get away with it, or I can't get away with it, I have an alternate plan. But I don't know that it's going to be that much of a problem yet. What's going on, man? Welcome. How you doing? Mad about the stickers, but the 80s kid in me has jumped for... No, you know what? I can back that idea. I can back that statement because, like, I was kind of hoping that there would be a quality control where all the stickers were already put on it. And at the same time, maybe I'm thankful that they're not, because what if they screwed the sticker up and then it's not really my fault, but their fault, and there's nothing I can do about it? Like, but then at the same time, I'm going to have to put stickers on And like if I screw it up, it's like a $600 screw up. Like it almost terrifies me to have to put the stickers on. I mean, I've done it. I've done it for more complicated things. I've done a bunch of Gunpla and stuff like that, so I should be more than fine. But sometimes stickers are the bane of my existence. Like if they don't tear right, or it just worries me sometimes. For the longest time, I thought Castle Grayskull was Skeletor's lair, and I get that. A lot of people did. Heck, the guy that did the original artwork, that's what he thought it was. And a lot of this is always in flux. And truth of the matter, Castle Grayskull is nobody's actual fortress when it comes right down to it. When it comes right down to it, it's not necessarily like Eternia's fortress. It's not the good guy's place necessarily. It happens to be where the energy, where the secrets of the universe are stored, and the sorceress oversees that. And then it's pretty much who she trusts, who she allows in. And she does choose a champion that can take care of things. And that champion is, of course, allowed in there as well. So really, when you get right down to it, in terms of the play factor for what Masters of the Universe was always meant to be, it is the MacGuffin, the great mighty MacGuffin thing that both people are after, really. Let's say, hey, congrats, I saw Eternia, Mr. Homa. Dude, so here's the thing. I thought about it. Dude, I keep seeing these videos that are popping up that are like, hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. I want to. But, like, I don't want to. I want to be surprised both for myself and for the sake of my channel. I don't want to, like, open it and already, like, know everything about it. So I'm kind of like dipping and diving and dodging all over the internet right now, trying to like avoid, because everybody's like, check out my attorney, and I'm like, oh, blocked it. Slip. Like no, I gotta avoid it as much as I possibly can, so that I will be. And I do this with video games too. Like when they said they were remaking Final Fantasy VII, I watched the first preview and then I turned it off. And anytime I saw something come up that was like Final Fantasy, I just like walked away from it because I wanted to legitimately be impressed and surprised with the thing I was walking into. I do that with a lot of stuff where, strangely enough, sometimes even like I won't watch the review for a figure until I have opened the figure and looked at it myself, and then I'll go see what other people are saying about it, which is almost redundant because at that point I don't need the review really because I bought it. Like, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think Castle Grayskull is a fantastic name, and I still, even today, would argue that it is the most recognizable castle in all of fiction, and it's that way for a reason. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Ooh, we got a lot of talk going on. Really? So, that's interesting. I did see something like that you were working on something. You're making your own? That's actually really cool. And I've seen some of the stuff you do too. Some of the stuff you do actually impresses me, man. It really does. Like, no joke. It really impresses me. I got to give you the thumbs up on some of that stuff, man, because like you got a decent talent, man. You really do. $1,000 and they put the stickers on and put them on right. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I feel about it too sometimes. YouTube on applying stickers easily. Yeah, that's probably a good idea too. It's funny how many little things in collecting that we stop and like we don't consider. Like everybody just buys something and then puts stickers on, and we're like, okay, well that guy, everybody knows, but like not everybody actually has the gist of like how to get it perfectly lined up before you seal it down and things like that and everything. And like, so like I think little things like this, and I've been trying to kind of address it on my channel here. I talk about shelving and space and like when we move one thing and you have to move something else, and I try to keep it real about how collecting really works in the long run, aside from we buy toys. There's a lot of other stuff going on and a lot of reasons behind why we collect the things that we do in general. fits any canon. Eternia, Preternia, just a cool playground. It's so cool. It really is. And yeah, you're right. Now that Preternia is a thing and it's been fully introduced and kind of fleshed out and whatnot, like it's cool to see that Eternia has this spot. But also, if you go by the mini comics design and stuff like that, it's a completely different kind of battlefield and idea. And Motu is so malleable. There's almost nothing you can't do in Motu. I stress that all the time. It's so beautiful, man. You cut each sticker out individually, then yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with this. What you're telling, I do this with Gunpla. Actually, they'll give me that little thing sometimes, and if I know it's got a lot of work, I'll sometimes cut it into segments and whatnot, set it to the side. That way, I don't cause tearing and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. And this is exactly why I love to save the surprise for myself. When I get that Eternia on my doorstep, when I open it, when I pull it out, it will be the first time, more than likely it'll be the first time on video and for myself that I will see the artwork. Like I mean, I've seen it, but I have not examined it at all. Like I'm going down and something's like, oh, the official artwork. And I'm like, and I scan as fast as I can to kind of get away from it because I want to see it all and to react to it and be very real about what I'm doing with all of my stuff. Enjoy the unboxing absolutely. Enjoy the unboxing experience all for you. It's shipping. The wait is almost over. I am curious how long it's going to take before it gets here. I really am. I don't know how long I'm going to be waiting, but it's going to be so cool, man. I know one day I'm going to be at work and my phone is going to go off and it's going to be like, hey, delivered. And I'm like, crap. And it's going to be like 9 a.m. or something like that. I know it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to sound really stupid. It's going to sound really big kid, but you know what? I'm very tempted that if this arrives and my Y time has resurfaced, because I get a set of Y time that I get to use once a year, and I get like a notice that it ships or whatever, and it shows up and it says your package has been delivered at like 9 a.m. I will probably just take the rest of the workday off and go home and get it because I really don't want that sitting on my front porch. I don't want I want to go get it at that point. Especially sometimes I panic because they've dropped a couple things off on my porch before and it's been like raining and I'm like, crap, by the time I get home, and that has happened a couple times where I've got home and depending on who you bought from, sometimes you're very lucky. It's not a big deal. Sometimes I get home and the only thing it was a cardboard box and a cardboard box is inside that cardboard box. And then I'm really lucky I'm an opener because that's it. Have you seen anything about the mini comic? No, I mean, I knew there was no doubt in my mind that it was going to come with one. But I don't really know much about it. I do know that there's a poster that's going to come with it, and I thought I saw the dimensions of it. I might purposely look up the poster dimensions because I might want to get a frame, because if it's anything like the rest of the artwork that I've seen, I'm gonna want this, and I'm gonna want it. I'm gonna want it to keep it. And if this is one that they'll give me, the one that I can actually frame, then that's something I'm really looking forward to because that's awesome. Like, and then of course I have every mini comic that I've collected so far, and then I have the entire compendium mini comic collection and whatnot. So I don't think there's many that I haven't had and haven't read. So whatever this one is going to come with, I'm kind of excited. And I thought I heard that this one's going to be bigger than a normal mini comic. That it's not going to be like your standard tiny book with just a couple of pages or whatever. I heard that this one's going to be a little bit different. What do you got here? So I just found out Motu Revelation has a Japanese dub. Time to scavenge and look at the voice actor choices. You usually get the weirdest stuff, like Toad in the movie being Domon Kashu. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just a difference in the way that we see material in terms of like Japanese and things like that. So I don't know how weird it is one way or another, really. And in all honesty, I don't know that I would watch it dubbed, like, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I would. I mean, I've seen it in English, and that's where I'll just keep watching it. Let's see. Would it pay to get things shipped to your place of work, perhaps? No, that would actually be impossible. See, I work in like the largest logistics firm on the planet. Like, not a joke. Like, there's my factory is 5.5 million square feet of operation. Like, it's one of the biggest things in the world. And so when I'm there, like, I can't have anything like sent there or anything like that. I'm not in an office space. I'm very much a ground worker at this point. Now, for a while, I was working for this industry as a filmographer and a photographer, but I've actually been moved out to the floor, and I'm working on a process now, which they call like I work in EWM and EVLM. I'm not going to name what those acronyms actually are. I'm just telling you that that's what I do now, and I'm a floor worker, so. It's walk, crouch, lift, move. It's physical labor 24 hours a day. Once you go in, you're in. It's 15 degrees hotter in the building than it is outside, and that's it. So if it's like 100 outside, it's 115 inside. And if it's negative 15 outside, then it's a little bit better because it's 0 inside. And that's not a joke. When I come home, like, sometimes if it's super cold outside, like, my face hurts. It's the nature. I work a fairly rough job, I guess, in terms of some of the other stuff that I guess I could be doing. And I mean, but it's the only work that I've ever known. It's the work really that I've done for as long as I can think of. Like, my first job was at a theater. My first real job was at a theater. And then after that, I started working warehouse labor. And that's pretty much what I've done my entire life. 3x2, so we're looking at 36 by 24. Thank you, that's awesome. I'll actually look up some frames. I'm sure I could get one for about $30 or something. I could probably get it even cheaper than that, in all honesty, but if this is going to be like a permanent fixture, I'm probably going to want to actually put a little money into a really solid frame. No spoilers, just make a reaction video. It has some nice surprises. Oh, absolutely, I will. I intend that this is going to be a big video on my channel. Rather, not intend, I anticipate. Some of my videos do better than others, but I understand why. People, until they really start watching my stuff, they don't know how I do what I do. So, like, if I'm talking about a toy that's like 2.5 years old, people will often skip that video because, like, they think that I'm just doing unboxings, and it's not quite the same idea for me that it is for a lot of other people because of the way that I run my content and the way that I choose my collection in general. So, like, all of my videos I would consider green content, I guess is what you can call them, because, like, there's a story behind every single item in every video that I do, and in topics that branch off from every discussion depending on what we're talking about, what toy we happen to be looking at, and things like that. So, like, but this video, I would imagine, since Eternia is such a big, new, wild thing, and there's a lot of people that are, like, looking at it right now, I'm assuming, to be fair, video will be pretty big. Like, I don't see how it won't be. I imagine it'll get views, is basically what I'm saying. Manic Plastic Toy Shop, he got all of Mattel, was a box of airbag. What? What? I think I would lose it. Whoa. Yes, that's exactly right. Yes. I've done the old working in a hot building on a hot day, heat presses that I know. Yeah, absolutely. If you've been there, you know exactly what it's like. Those jobs, they run a real a real hit on you. I don't know why. All of a sudden, my spikes are going absolutely crazy. I'm going to see if I can't turn this down a little bit, because I don't know what just happened, but it came out of nowhere. I don't know what just altered in my setup or why that just happened, but no, I think, in fact, this just came up right here where, yeah, and I don't know, let me know if I just fixed that, but all of a sudden, my mic, like, blew up. Every spike on my board just went, like, solid red, and I have no idea what happened or why it happened. That was really crazy. Are you planning on setting up Eternia in its entirely... at first, I plan to set it... My first run, I plan to set it up with all 3 towers. Absolutely. And then after that, I'm gonna see what happens. Let me do this real quick. I need to hear this and see if something is see if my mic... I may need to fix my mic. Something's weird. I don't know why. I'm gonna see what happens. Oh well, no. Let me do this. Nope, looks quick. Like maybe it's fixed. I need to hear this and see. Because that doesn't sound too bad. I don't know. That was weird. Like, it just, all of a sudden, I just had like an absolute spike on the mic. Like, it, I don't know if one of the cords messed up or something, but like, that was wild. That was absolutely wild. All of a sudden, it just went absolutely crazy. All my spikes across the entire board just went like solid red. And now it seems like the mic is picking me up at a very different level than it was. I don't know if something unplugged or if it... I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, I hope they're sending him a replacement. That is unreal. I would be... Oh, man, I would be so mad. Yeah, I just checked it. It seems like it's better now. I don't know what that was. I don't know why it was doing that. I don't know why it changed all of a sudden. But it also doesn't. It seems like the graininess has also been fixed too. That was weird. Periodic runs to the men's room. Dunk your head into the cold water. I've done before where I've actually walked in to the bathroom, taken my shirt off, run it under the water, and put it back on, just so I could get some sort of relief while I was working. It's been bad in that building before. I've come home with heat exhaustion multiple times and things like that. It's especially the older I get, it seems the harder it is to work there sometimes. But I mean, there's not too many choices, in all honesty. And yeah, you got to watch out for stuff like that. Make sure, like I've had to teach myself over time to just kind of slow down and be like, look, you want work done, I want to live. Like, I can only do what I can do. I want to go all out with Eternia, Castle Grayskull, and Snake Mountain, but I don't have Snake Mountain. At some point, I have to ask myself when... actually, I liked, and I mean, I'm being serious about this, I absolutely love the Snake Mountain we got in Origins. If you don't have it, and I know, I guess I'm like enabling at this point, and that's not my intention, is to like, go spend your money, man. Take care of your stuff, absolutely, but like, on a personal note, that Snake Mountain is fantastic, and it is, in my personal opinion, far, far, far superior to the original. It's bigger, it looks better, the sculpt is better on it, the material is better, the inside is fantastically better. The coloring, I even feel, is actually better than the original. I don't think there's a single thing, maybe one thing. There's a sticker inside of it where there's like a wood floor area or whatever. It could have been better. It almost seems like they took an artist rendering and like tried to upscale it with AI and it didn't quite work, and then they just put it in there and they were like, who'll know. But otherwise, literally everything about it that I can think of is so good. I loved that Snake Mountain. It reminds me of what Wondar sale, where a fellow only got a bag of 2 rolls of bubble wrap instead. What? Oh my gosh. Dude, I like don't even know how I would react to that. Like, I really do. If I got home and I wait to like to open my stuff. Ow. I wait to open my stuff like on camera. So I wouldn't have discovered that until I was literally opening it. So I would have discovered it on camera. In fact, that happened to me before. If you go back to an earlier video, when I opened my Batwing from Superpowers, it broke. Like, it was broke when I opened it. I couldn't get the window part to, like, open properly. I couldn't figure out why. Like, I would push the button, and it was like, it's supposed to open when I push the button. I don't know what's going on. It was broken. It was broken when I took it out of the box, and I didn't realize it till, like, halfway through the review when I was like, oh, it's broken. So I definitely wouldn't have noticed it until I opened it on the episode and been like, oh, there are just bags in here. Oh, I've been so mad. I don't know what that is. Cool. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I have the table, so I'll get it eventually. Waiting on clearance. Yeah, I can get that. Because, look, man, $20 spent here is $20 you can't spend here. I say it all the time, but it's really important that people stop and think about that. You need to realize that when you talk about this stuff, when you talk about collecting. And I think it's another thing that I cover on my channel all the time that I try to talk about. I think it's important to kind of get the information out there, not just to us, but people that are interested in coming into a hobby like this. Like, you need to know that everything you do here is money. Shelf, money, space, money, cleaning, time. There's all this extra stuff that we never really talk about. And like, I think people get kind of delusioned when they see and they like want to get into collecting, and then they see that like you've got all this stuff and they think that you like put all this together like you just started last year or whatever. No way. Like, every $20 you spend over here is $20 you can't spend over here. And completing a collection means that you had to sacrifice on something else that was cool. Unless you only have one interest. If you only collect Masterverse, then maybe you're going to have the entire line. You're going to do just fine. But that's not a guarantee. If you like Masterverse, but you also like Star Trek Playmates, but you also like Dragon Ball Z, but you also like Marvel Legends, but you also like Gunpla, $20 spent here is $20 you can't spend there. It's a very real part of the hobby. My Eternia arrived today. Inner box has slight stress curves on the side. Will attempt to open tomorrow. I have multiple people to assist. It's 47 pounds. What? Hold on. My Eternia arrived today. Inner box has slight stress, curves on two sides. I get that. Will attempt to open tomorrow when I have multiple people to assist. It's 47 pounds. Is that real? That seems unreal. I mean, I haven't looked it up. But is it actually 47 pounds? Yes, I've seen all of Revolution. I loved it. I so loved it unreasonably. Look, man, and I know some people feel the way they feel. Revelation is what got me into Motu. That's where I started with Motu. And I have an entire video talking about how that all laid down and where my history with Masters of the Universe actually goes. And then I went from Revelation and did a bunch of backtracking, did everything while I was waiting for Revolution. Revolution came out. I watched it the night it came out all the way through one sitting. I love it, man. It's so good. Some odd things indeed have been coming out of Mattel since getting into Origins, and Wondar being my first ever MC sale. Lots of tales, just like you had back in these. Yeah, it's so crazy. dude, I don't even know. Like, that would make me crazy if I opened something and found only bubble wrap. You got me you got me thinking I should go up there and I should open that Grayskull right now. You really do, man. Wonder are still causing mysteries all these years later. No joke. Thankfully, I only collect Motu and curating my own line. Really? Like making your own figures? Like your own thing? That's so cool. And I've noticed a lot of people getting into the figure game lately. That is insanity to me. FedEx includes a weight on delivery notice. 47 pounds! You just made me love this even more. Even more. Like, the idea that we just bought a playset that is 47 pounds of ultimate awesome, like, that's unbelievable. That is so cool. It is so unbelievable. It just made it more epic than it already was to me on a personal level. Yeah. Actually, I understand. I, on a personal level, felt like I wish it would have been 10 episodes as well. But doing the 5 episodes and keeping everything tight and synced, there was not a single moment of missed opportunity. Everything that had to happen was pushed. And so there was like zero downtime. Everything put in was a plot point. And I kind of have to appreciate it for that as well. I know this may not matter to you, Bill, but the dub voice things are hilarious to me. He-Man is friggin' Sonic the Hedgehog. Scareglow is an Ultraman. Man-at-Arms is Captain America. All Japanese voice actors is what you're talking about. So like the Captain America, so the Japanese voice actor for Captain America is Man-at-Arms. I guess that kind of works. Scareglow is an Ultraman. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He-Man is Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess it depends because they're like, how do I put this? I've seen a lot of things where like bad guys are deep voice and heroes will often be like very light. You know, it's just the way they handle things over there. It's very theatrical. It's very theatrical. Anyways, I won't bother you. Let's see. There is a 2 foot by 3 foot holographic print inside. That's awesome. Be careful. Open inner box flat. Really? Okay. No, thank you for that. That's absolutely a good thing, too. Be careful. Open inner box flat. Okay. No, thank you. This thing's going to be crazy. I'm curious how I'm going to film this. Death toll damage of Eternia is still climbing. I fear those backbreakers indeed. All the damage. And you know what? I get that people are mad. I get that people are mad that it cost what it did and it's coming in the condition that it comes in. I really do. At the same time, I don't know what to say about it, in all honesty. Like, how do I put this? As we just mentioned, I've worked in logistics for a long time. I've been that guy that has to carry all that stuff. And I'm not saying oh, they damage your stuff and blah blah blah, and you should just know that it's hard to be that guy. No, I'm saying that I've seen it and lived with it, and even kind of been that guy when you're like underpaid and you're carrying around like 50 pounds continual for 8 hours a day, over and over and over again, 700 times a day, like I like picking tags easily, and everything that I pick is like 42 pounds a piece, and then you pick that up, literally 250 tags by the end of the night. That's 250 individual lifts, but that's not counting the part count, which a part count could easily be maybe you touched 1,000 parts that day. Like that's 1,000 lifts of 42 pounds a day, and you feel dead at the end of the day. And I get it, and I wish there was a better way for this to run. I don't, and I will say this: I purposely do not pick the fast ship option. That's another reason that my show suffers a little bit, is I don't get stuff quickly, and I won't, because I know what it's like to be rushed on e-tags and things like that, so I don't push that button. I'll purposely be like, hey, this can arrive on the 7th, or it can arrive on the 9th, and I'm like, let it arrive on the 9th. Do not put a rush on my stuff. I'm fine with it, whatever. Because I think it's just because I've been that guy. I know what it's like to work that crappy job. And so, like, it makes me both feel for it, but at the same time, you bought a $600 set. A $600 collector's item that will not be done again for probably the next 40, 50 years. So, handle with care is an absolute. These will not be made again. They will not be made again, and they cannot be replaced. If mine comes and it's broken, and I send it back, there's a chance I'm getting a refund, not an Eternia, and that is utterly depressing. So, while I understand where it comes from, I'll also say that if you're one of those people that are delivering, take care with other people's stuff. I know what it's like to be in your position, but take care with other people's stuff. One day, it could be your stuff getting tossed around, getting locked, getting crushed, getting the sides broke in, and some of these items that come to your door that are all beat up like that, yeah. King Grayskull already has bids of $255. I'm going to open mine. And I'm going to put him on my shelf. Am I an idiot? I mean, it's a legit question. If I could honestly get $255, would that be worth it? No. Kind of. On a personal note, no. But I get where somebody would say, what are you doing? But realistically, that $300 that I would have for like an hour before I found a reason that I had to spend it, because realistically I put it on a bill, or I fix this, or I do that, or what, it'd be gone in like less than an hour. King Grayskull will probably sit on my shelf for the next 15 years. King Grayskull wins. That money means nothing to me. I remember buying my first collector's item from overseas. My dad had to literally fight the customer officer and run away immediately so nobody would rob him on this. Holy crap, what? I suppose some like to keep the art good or display the box next to the set, and I get that. Some like to buy these vintage Scented Stuff original boxes. And I honestly completely understand it. And that's what I'm talking about. I know what it's like to be that guy, but at the same time, the collectors and things like that, we're hoping for a certain thing. And we want it to be a certain way. And I know they can't always come perfect. I know. But there's a difference between ordering a Rogue 97 X-Men Rogue, and it comes and it's not in perfect condition. That sucks. But you know what? I'd get over it. I'd get over it real quick. But these Eternias that are showing up damaged, this is not good. And I don't know what kind of incentive or whatever needed to be given to the workforce to be told, look, these are heavy, move slow, don't mess around, these people will wait. They want them in pristine condition, and they need to arrive in pristine condition. And even if Mattel or the people who ran it, like like UPS or whatever that was delivering these things, that was given a wait notice and everything, if they maybe they even deserve the slightest bit of a bonus for handling difficult difficult loads, we'll call that. Like they're a little heavier, they're unorthodox, they're kind of big and wide, they fill the truck up, you have to make more trips, it's a pain in the ass. Give that guy a little bit more money and get that stuff to us in the right condition, especially this. And at the same time, what are they going to do about this? Like, are we seeing? You know what I'm getting at? Like, they're just like, hey, if you want to send it back, you could send it back. Maybe we'll replace it. If we can't replace it, you'll get a refund. Well, that makes me not want to send it back at all. Because can you imagine what it would be like to get the box and it's dented in, and you're like, well, I'm gonna send that shit back. You send it back, it never comes back. You get your $600 back. At that point, you don't want your $600. You should have just kept the busted box. But now it's too late, and you don't have Eternia at all. That is nerve-wracking in a big, big way. Almost a horrifying way. Like, that scares you. Like, that makes you not even want to take the chance of sending it back. And in all honesty, you probably shouldn't. You may as well just take your chance, unless it's broken, and you have no choice but to send it back and cross your fingers. Like that, yeah, that terrifies me. You know what would be nice? This is going to sound ridiculous. But it would be cool. Wouldn't it be awesome if as an apology for the way that this rolled out, that they just went ahead and told everybody, you know what? You were close enough to 10,000. We're sending out Kevlar to every single person that ordered it. He'll be out in a couple weeks. Just send Kevlar. Big apology Kevlar. I'm not saying it would make up for everything, but like, you would like to think that they would do something. Because this rollout has been rough, and I'm seeing it way too often that people are coming in with busted boxes, and that worries me. Customer office saw massive box, got suspicious. King Grayskull is so cool. I prefer the Origins version to Masterverse. Really? That's interesting. I'll have to look at that. Now, I like Masterverse toy line more than I like the Origins toy line. So maybe we just sit at different ends of the spectrum. I don't actually know, but that's interesting. That's actually interesting. And I'll have to look at him. I'll have to see why you feel that way. And maybe I'll even do that in when I open him up. Maybe I'll purposely take the two, put them and figure out which one I like. Because, yeah, that's interesting in general. Paid $5.27 NZD an hour to my last job, heavy duty labor. But despite that, put 100% into the product. And even though at times I felt like leaving the job. And I get that. I've been right there with you, being the guy that's like, oh, why the fuck am I doing? I should just leave. Like this isn't worth it, you know? I remember selling Duplico for $400. Duplico was crazy. Why was he, like, he just blew up. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, everybody wanted Duplico, and they were willing to pay stupid prices to get him. Like, I have no clue why he was such a big deal, but he really was. He was like a big deal. Like, and on a personal note, I don't know why. I don't know why. I seen him and I was like, that's cool. And then I don't have one. I don't miss it. I'm not FOMO on it. I did miss out, I guess. I don't know. But he blew up, man. He blew up. He was one of those, and this is going to be a crazy reference. If you were there, you understand. He was one of the Cabbage Patch Kids of Motu. People would trample you for a Duplico. That's what I'm getting at. It's strange considering that King Grayskull and Modi were pretty much free incentives, and clearly Mattel still has plenty. They're replacing orders of him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man, I wish they would have given us Kevlar. Modi, man. Oh, I can't wait to have Modi. I can't wait to have Modi, man. You just made my whole night, by the way. Just the mention of Modi, just this goofy, awesome little big face creature. I can't wait, man. It's so I'm very, very hyped for Eternia, for Modi. This is gonna be so cool, man. I love this stuff, man. I really do. It's look, man, I'm a 40-year-old man, so say what you will. But I love this stuff. I love imagination, figures, toys, excitement, adventure, mythology, grandeur universes. I love the escapism of it. I just love it, man. It's your money. Do what you want with it. Just bought Granomir, and I'm so excited. Granomir, like the classics Granomir. I saw one of those, dude. Those look awesome. I saw one at a comic shop, and it was sitting up on the display thing, and it had its little feet, and it's got its beer gut and everything. I love the fact that Granomir used to have like a dad bod. But I love the new Granomir that they gave us in a Revolution. Absolutely zero complaints there. Absolutely fantastic. I loved him. I really did. So yeah, it's just crazy, man. Concerning the holographic print, I suggest buy a 24 by 36 frame from Walmart, $9.98. Okay, Walmart delivered the frame in less than 24 hours. Also good news. I will put the image in a frame tomorrow with assistance. No, absolutely awesome. So it's a holographic print? That I didn't know. That's cool. Dude, this is no, that's absolutely, that's one of the things. That's a piece of art, and I think I may have already have. So look, I have a picture that's been hung up for a long time that I don't really have any I'm not like excited about it. I mean, it's just been on the wall for as long as I can remember. It's a Harley Quinn from the Arkham City game. And it's cool, but like I'm not a super Harley fan necessarily. I like her. And I think she's cool, and I think that she's really earned her legacy, but, like, I don't care enough to, like, you know what I mean? I may take her out of that frame, because I think that's what she is. And I may swap her. Because Eternia holds a much higher place for me than Harley Quinn. Confused at how I said my dad could be robbed on the streets. My country is messed up, and imagine you're a hobo seeing a guy with a giant box that looks like food relief package. And that's sad. That makes me sad that you just told me that. I mean, I get it. You gotta be happy for what you got, where you got, how you have it, and whatnot. I very much get that. And I've lived in pretty rough areas, actually. I've been mugged a couple times, actually. So, I mean, not at the same extent. I won't compare myself to you, to be fair. But, yeah, I very much get that. Indeed, large and heavy boxes like that, bubble wrap, and then you can make a card frame around the sides. Yeah, no, I worked Brazilian freight. So anything that we did, we had to like super pack that crap. It could not move. It had to be double sealed. It had to guarantee that it could survive the water and things like that. I lived Brazilian freight for a while. So all of my stuff, you want to talk about quality packing, I understood exactly what that entailed. Heaviest box I ever sent that way, recent Hasbro Omega. Okay. Hasbro Omega Supreme. What is that? I almost think I should look that up. I'm curious what that is. Duplico might be the most basic of all rulers, and that's saying a lot, and I love Rulers of the Sun. No, absolutely. Yeah. I think they are pretty cool, and I especially love the story behind the Rulers of the Sun and whatnot. I think that's really cool in general. And I didn't know about that literally until he showed up in Masterverse, and I was like, who's this Wings guy? And then I seen him, of course, in the Origins, and then I kind of looked him up. I was like, who's Sunman? And then all this information came forward, and I was like, oh, this is awesome! Like, I thought that was really cool in general. But Duplico just kind of blew my mind, because he's just like a blonde flat-top dude with a gun. And I was like, everybody is like, you can get straight up trampled. You can get trampled at a Target if that guy appears on the shelf. Like, it is crazy how that guy's going. All the comments come out around 3 Rules of the Sun. Many did not like it, but the old Duplico took off. Yeah, I mean, that Duplico was crazy. It's a holographic print of the full cover box art and has a metallic laser print. Oh my God. It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing, man. I mean, you could say, well, we paid for it, we better get something, right? But, like, how many times have you paid for something? Really paid, right? And what you got was still just like, you know, it was acceptable at best. You know what I'm getting at? Like, I guess the only way I can say is like they don't owe you anything. I mean, they do. You bought it, but you get what I'm saying. It blows my mind that this thing is what it is. How big it is, how heavy it is. Like, I've seen some of the, like, art and whatnot in terms of, like, because when they were showing it off at, like, the Mattel creations and whatnot, where they were showing the plastic and everything, how they purposely went out of their way to make it like a little thicker so it actually survives. It's bigger than the old one. It looks better. The craft work on it is much better than the old. Like, it just blows my mind. And yeah, we're getting into objective opinion at this point. But yes, I would argue that it looks better than the old one. On a personal scale, at least, all this is subjective. You may like certain things looking the way that you like certain things to look. But on a personal note, when I look at the snake on the Snake Mountain, it looks better. When I look at the car, it looks better. When I look at the tracks, they look better. When I see the Castle Grayskull over here, the dungeon thing, that looks better. When I see the lion, that looks better. It all pops better than I've seen with the original. And like I said, all subjective. But to me, that's what I see. I felt Rulers of the Sun made sense in Origins, as the toy line was pretty much created to be in the Masters figures. But yes, I suppose back then Minnie did not know rules. No, absolutely. I certainly had no idea what it was. Forget saving the box, frame the print, save the space. Absolutely. That's where I am too. That's why I'm excited that it's even coming with this, is because that was one of those boxes that I was like, this is going to be amazing artwork and it's going to kill me if I have to dip it. Poster's cool, but the surprise would have been the poster's cool, but the surprise would have been cooler. No shade. The spoilers in Motu across the board. No, I did know about the poster. So there wasn't going to be a surprise for me. And yeah, like if you would have opened it up and you wouldn't have known, you'd have been like, oh man, let me fix this real quick. There, you'd have been like, oh man, that's crazy. But like, I get it. Motu is one of those things that if you follow Motu, if you step out of it, or you get what I'm saying? Like if something's coming out, you know. This is both good and bad, because there's no surprises coming for you with Motu, unless you're very careful about avoiding things. At the same time, you won't miss out. Like, we all know that Rakan is coming, and we've known it for a while, and nobody is surprised that Rakan is coming, and so nobody will miss out on him. Well, I mean, he's going to sell out in like 3 minutes. Maybe I'm being ridiculous, but like, you get what I'm saying. If he does disappear and like sell out in like less than 5 minutes, some people are going to miss out on him. But you knew it was coming, and there's no way you could have missed it. Like, if you follow anybody that is following Masters of the Universe, that's talking about Masters of the Universe, chances are they've already posted the news and did the article and shared the thing, and like, it's crazy. You can't avoid spoilers in this group all that well. I have to go above and beyond to make sure that I know as little about Eternia as I do, so that when I get it, it's gonna be sick. Omega Supreme so this is not Supreme. It's like it's Supreme. That makes sense, actually. I'm not a Transformers guy, but now that I just put that together in my head, I feel like I just like solved part of the origins of Transformers. Like, this is so removed from the Transformers mythology and fandom that like it just hit me that it's not Supreme, it's Omega Supreme, because it's a prime, and I feel like such an idiot, but it's so fantastic. Is a Transformer, one of the City Titan bots. Rocket Commander. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I don't know anything really about Transformers, but I see it all the time because like it has a huge following, man. And I got a friend that like absolutely loves Transformers. That's like his thing. It's like the biggest thing in his life. His main fandom is Transformers. So I've seen a lot of them, and I kind of know, but like I really don't follow anything with it, so I really don't know. I didn't know Keklar was coming, and a toy leak spoiled that. Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Keldor, sorry. I didn't know Keldor was coming, and a toy leak spoiled that. Right. That's exactly what I mean. It's very hard to not be spoiled in this, but at the same time, like I said, you won't miss out on things. So it's like a double-edged sword, because you don't want to not know and then never have a chance to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah. Be careful opening the box. Do not accidentally destroy the poster. Open the box flat, correctly, not from the side or the bottom. 47-pound box. Get out. That is sick. It's going to be so cool. I will be very careful. I honestly appreciate that warning. I really do. Destroying that poster would have devastated me, in all honesty. That would have really, like, broke my heart. Be careful opening the box. Do not accidentally destroy poster. Open box flat. Do not from the side or the bottom. Open from the top. Open flat. 47-pound box. Gonna be heavy. All right. No, honestly, I really do appreciate that. I really do. I'm not joking. The fact that a couple people now have warned me about, like, thank you. Like, I'm not kidding at all. That is fantastic that you've gone out of your way to let me know that, because it would have straight up broke my heart. I tried to bid on a vintage Rockon to have in my review comparisons, but I was outbid on that, most likely due to upcoming MC. Yeah, it's probably true, because now people, like, you see that a lot where, like, they'll kind of release the figure and then there'll be like a huge spring on people trying to get the original one. Origins of Omega Supreme and got a major good job. Good job. Oh, sorry. Omega Supreme is his name. That was a typo. Oh, no! So, I just had this big revelation over nothing. Thought that I'd made this, like, tremendous discovery, that I discovered something all by myself. Well, that's fantastic. At least I had fun. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Oh, that's fantastic. Whew. I have a 3-foot coffee table. I hope it's going to be big enough. No, absolutely. And we should be, man. We really should be. We should be excited for this. This is going to be such a big deal, man. Look, I've already done, I don't even have it. And I've already done like 5 videos on Eternia. Like when it was first a rumor, I did a video on it. I did a video after it became a guarantee. I did a video talking about how I wasn't going to get it. I came back to do another video saying, I'm a putz, I'm buying this thing. I did another video justifying where I thought the price came from and why it's going to be what it is and why it's my money. Who cares? And if you couldn't afford it, I'm sorry for you. I sold part of my collection to get it. I'm not kidding. I took statues off the shelf and parted with them forever to guarantee my hands on Eternia. Because as far as I'm concerned, Eternia is going to be a part of modern toy history. It is. It would be like, it's the equivalent of if G.I. Joe tomorrow announced USS Flag. That's what it is, man. It's a chance to own a legit part of toy history. Straight up toy mythology. I wasn't going to pass on it. There's no way. I knew. I knew I was an idiot when I was doing the videos saying, I don't think I'm going to do it. I think it is kind of pricey. I justify the price, but I don't. I think I'm going to walk away. It's going to kill me to do so, but I'm going to do it. Then the next thing I knew, man, I turned around and I was like, that Spider-Gwen isn't that awful important to me. She's like a $200 statue. I could probably get like $120 if I low sell her. What else is on the shelf? That. That gives me like $400 right there. I mean, if I just slide this over here, here's the money. I'm doing it. And I knew it, man. Eternia is 38 inches deep. That's this. That's this. It's unreal, man. Revelation instead, you must say. No, dang it, Master Versal. Oh, man. Supreme is a cool name. Makes sense. 38 inches deep, all three towers attached, according to other unboxers, warning on size. Fantastic. Like, it's so crazy, man. This thing is going to be monstrous, and it's so exciting, man. It really is. It would be a good third-party name for him. Let's see. I never wavered. Remember, I asked Guru if we would ever get an Origins Eternia, and he said never. Like, so many times he had to eat his words. And yeah, I've had my issues with Spectre Creative. I give him credit for understanding parts of the industry that I will never understand. He lived it. And just like me, with the job that I've done for the last friggin' 20 years, there are certain things that I know about the way certain things work that other people simply do not understand. I'm lean certified. I can lean process a grocery store. I can walk in the door, scan from one side to the other, and tell you what works, what doesn't work, what is on purpose, what is broken on purpose, why this is here, why these have been moved here, why this is being rearranged, why this works, why this doesn't work. And sometimes I can go into a place and they can say, oh, well, I'm going in for this, and this, but I've never been to this store. And I'm like, we go here. Why? Because I'm lean certified and I know how the processes work. So I know how they stock it. I know how they do this. But for all that I know, that doesn't mean that if a new store came up tomorrow, I could tell you exactly how they're going to set it up. I can't tell you exactly how their business model is going to work. I can't tell you what the next Kroger's is going to be. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't predict the market like that. And he sometimes thinks he can, and he's had to really eat crow, his own words on that one, multiple times. And I think, I don't want to be a prick, but I think a big part of it, the reason he keeps putting his foot in his mouth is because he's jealous. I don't want to sound like an ass, but look, you ran the most, people have considered it, the most important toy line in Motu history. You were the head of Motu Classics. I get it. It is still, by today's standards, considered by most of the collecting market to be the pinnacle. I would argue, in many, many ways, Masterverse has beat them. Subjective. You could argue one way or another. Subjective. But in some ways, I don't think it's subjective for him, because every chance he gets, he brings up, now in Motu Classics, back with Motu Classics, I worked on Motu Classics, we get it. It's not that you shouldn't be proud, but we get it. And at the same time, it is inevitable that a toy line is going to come around with better engineering, better process, and better resource, because it's the future now, and you will be dethroned. Classics cannot and will not stay the ultimate Motu bound collection forever. It's not possible unless the brand dies and we stop moving forward. That's it. It was always inevitable that Masterverse or something was going to come along to take its place, and slowly but surely it is shaping and doing things right, as well as it's done some things wrong. But I'm just saying, in general, I think that's where a lot of my issues with him come from, is because it often seems like he's jealous when there is a success, and he's always calling for, like, the end of Motu. No longer in retail. It's going away. They're going to stop it. The line is canceled. Just stop. Just stop. Well, they can't possibly do this toy because it wasn't only in this and blah, 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 and my Motu Classics. Just stop. Stop doing it, man. I just found some Motu Transformer concepts, Eternian bots, Hordicrons. Like, just concepts or actual toys. 36 coffee table, not big enough. Sorry. Gonna need a bigger coffee table. Now you need to get a shark to go in the Eternian moat, by the way. That's a clever little gizmo you have there. I don't even know, like, in all honesty, it's kind of crazy, but I keep this thing, like, on my desk. It never leaves my desk. I always seem to find a use for it, to be fair. Optimus X Prime, Chinese Dragon Bullet Train. Japan is certainly something, if not creatively insane. You know, I'll give him that. That's absolutely true. Old Extendar there. Mecha-Neck, Tongue Lasher. Classics is overrated. 80s hype was real. On a personal level, and I've argued this, and I've received a lot of backlash on this channel, we're talking about something that is subjective. It is subjective. Some people like what they like. It's the way that it is. I like the Playmates Star Trek figures. It's true that their faces aren't perfect. But to me, the representation is solid. I know who everybody is at first glance, and I love those figures. I wish they could sit down better, but I love those figures. I do. I love them. That's my absolute pinnacle Star Trek toy. Playmates, Star Trek, 90s, that's where I live, baby. But that's subjective, because I know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that these toys have been done better in multiple toy lines. I've seen them. That doesn't mean I prefer them. But you get the idea. I've said it on multiple occasions. When I've opened some of these, I've been like, this is better than the classics. And then at the same time, sometimes I've opened them and been like, I kind of wish we'd have got this design look. And kind of reverted back and said, some of the classics are still better. But in the long run, I'm just saying, man. I am a Motu mom. Back to Eternia, first day of the campaign. Awesome. I was 3 days in before I backed it. My other half backed it on day 6. Worst case, we might have a backup if something is broken, or Dad's backup to sell, and if an emergency happens. No, absolutely. And by the way, full scale, hoping nothing bad happens. I hope you get to keep both of them. And he can't, man. He really can't let go. It bothers me sometimes. It makes me sad sometimes. See, old Spectre was canceled there, but now he's back on the shelf, you might say. So, I saw this. I saw that Spectre Creative got canceled. Okay? I seen it. Not canceled is maybe the right word. His channel got taken down. I heard, and I don't know, I haven't looked into anything, but I heard that he was falsely taken down. He was basically attacked, and then he basically had to fight to get his channel back like reinstated. Two things. One, nobody deserves that. This is an open platform, okay? I'm going to say things that you aren't going to love. I'm going to like things that you're not going to love. We're collectors, we're different. We have different opinions, and all of this stuff is subjective. What I collect is not what you collect. What's on my shelf doesn't need to be on your shelf. What's important to me doesn't have to speak to you. It's cool when it does. And it's awesome that we can share the stories and love for a thing that we are truly into. And it's awesome that I can discover things by seeing the things that you, in general, love. When I see you love a thing, and you're hyped about it, and you're passionate, and this was you, this spoke to you, that speaks to me. It doesn't necessarily mean I may buy that toy, but it might. It might spark something in me to try something I've never tried. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And at the same time, maybe one day I decide that just to stick in Motu, the classics version, you know what? No, even just take it up to there. The original Fantastic Four should have never changed costumes. That's not actually my real opinion, but say that's it. And say for some reason you are so absolutely butthurt that you spam claim my channel and get me taken down. That's wrong. I don't wish that on him. Ever. I don't wish it on Retro Blasting. I don't wish it on Spectre. I don't wish it on anybody. Anybody. It's wrong, man. It's wrong. I love the fact that he got his channel back. Number two, though. Now that he's got it back, I'm crossing my fingers that he doesn't go on like a campaign. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he doesn't do a bunch of call-outs and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he got his stuff back. Bygones are bygones. I'm not saying that guy shouldn't be. I think on a personal level, if you spam claim a channel and you get somebody's stuff taken away, false claims should come back on the claimer somehow. Sometimes maybe you misunderstood something. Maybe something you thought wasn't fair use. You claimed it for whatever reason. Maybe you thought, and I get that. And then maybe nothing should really come to you. Maybe you should be educated. But at the same time, I'm saying that if you go on one of these smear campaigns where you disable somebody's channel, and then it's very much proven that that's what you did, something should happen with your stuff. Just saying. So I'm hoping that bygones are bygones and this part of the drama spiel is dead. He's back. He already put out a couple videos. And I actually watched two of them, actually. Because sometimes I actually really do like to see what he's up to and see what he has to say. And recently he was talking about something. I honestly can't remember exactly what it was. But it did catch my attention. I did watch his video and I was like, you know what? I feel that. I do. But I will say that I have trafficked his channel substantially less since he started calling for the demise of Motu in every single video that he put out. That was killing me. I had to move on from that. But I didn't claim his channels because I just don't understand that. Yes. Do I think... I'm assuming you're asking me, do I think at the end of... We're going into spoiler territory. For anybody that may be wondering, I imagine that's what we just did here, is walked into spoiler territory. I think you're asking me at the end of Revolution, I say it again, spoiler territory. At the end of Revolution, there's a small scene where we see Despara. Is that She-Ra? Are we going to get She-Ra? If we do another 5 episodes, will the bad guy be Hordak, brought back, coming down with his generals to have a giant all-out Eternian war, and with Despara at the lead, which will then lead into a type of remake of Secrets of the Sword? That would be cool. In fact, I think that's the way to go, is kind of do a remake of Secrets of the Sword. He is not defeated. There is something, blah, blah, blah. The sorceress, has information, this and that. I'm just, that kind of feels right that we do this. I think you cannot show me Despara and then not let it be Adora. We saw the crib. We saw the baby. We saw the abduction. The clues are there. The context is in place. They even left a general out of the overall war. You did not see Catra. You saw Grizzlor. You saw Mantenna. You saw Leech. You saw Hordak. I don't remember seeing Catra. If Catra has purposely been left behind, then Catra is serving alongside Adora or Despara, whichever one of those, until I hear it spoken aloud. I actually don't know exactly what pronunciation they're going to go with. But that character has to be Adora. It has to be Adora. And her main general, her sub-commander, is probably Catra. Just making a wild assumption at this point. But I will say, without a doubt, it must be Adora. There is no way they dropped that teaser, because I've heard people saying, I've heard this interesting argument that's coming up where people are saying that if you go back and you look at that scene, you could see that there's an emblem in place that makes it so maybe the person that was taking off the mask is actually Catra, not Adora. No. You cannot drop this far in and rev people this high and drop the ball and not bring She-Ra into modern day full animation. If you do that, it's over. They will literally end their own series and an absolute death note if that is not Adora. It must be Adora. And I think the fact that they went out of their way, because it was right before the series dropped. They went out of their way to secure the name. I don't know how many people know this, but Mattel went out of their way to resecure the copyright on the name Despara. If they're going out of their way to hold on to that name, they need it. And there's only one reason they need it. And we've seen a lot of Princess of Power figures that have come out of the Masterverse line. I don't think that's a coincidence. The Masterverse line has been doing New Eternia, Princess of Power, some movie figures, one classic, which was Merman, if I'm not mistaken. And I guess we'll put He-Man, because he was an anniversary, but he's kind of in that classic line. And of course, the Revelation and Revolution line. These are a bunch of things that fall under the Masterverse umbrella. but then kind of span out into different things. And we've seen a lot of Princess of Power. I mean, it's not crazy, but stop and think. We have Hordak, Princess of Power. We have She-Ra, Princess of Power. We have Catra, Princess of Power. We have Grizzlor, Princess of Power. Like, this isn't a mistake. We have Frosta. Like, the fact that we're putting this much effort into bringing Princess of Power to the line, we're prepping for something. It can't be a mistake. These things go hand in hand. If you have a cartoon and a toy line, even when a property is this big, just like Marvel Legends is a keynote here. Marvel Legends is a huge property. And they have access to millions of characters across the board. But what happens when movies and series come out? We see movies and series characters. We still see other things too. But you think it's a mistake that Marvel got a hold of Blade? Introduced Blade at the end of Eternals? I don't think we've seen him, but you get the idea. And then all of a sudden a Blade figure came out? Oh, maybe it was just time for a Blade figure. No, it all goes hand in hand. There's no way we have got this much Princess of Power in the Masterverse line without it being a subtext clue that they have the rights re-evaluated. This has to be Adora. It cannot be anybody else. If that mask comes off and it's Catra, the series is done. You want to talk about how people were mad about Revelation when actually there was very little to anything to actually be mad about? Personal opinion. There was very little to actually complain about. And 80% of the conversations I saw online where people were complaining about the series, they were complaining about things that didn't even actually happen in the series. I'm just saying in general, okay? You want to talk about a real bait and switch? If they show Despara, they set up Adora with the kidnapping, and that's Catra, and we never see She-Ra, it's done. It's done. They'll never recover from that. It has to be her. She is on the way. Promises. All personal opinion. Promises. Yes, contact a person and talk if they feel they use something of yours and so on and so forth. Start with cool heads and you might say, yeah, exactly. I just think what was done to him was wrong, man. Love him or hate him, what was done to him was wrong. My other half, Dad's Eternia, has not yet shipped. Mom is doing decals tomorrow on Central Tower once Mom's Motu print is safely framed. Thank you for that. I'm serious. Thank you for everybody that told me about that. 8-year-old daughter is excited for Mom and Dad careful unboxing. Oh, that's awesome. You know, I kind of get that too. It's not exactly the same thing, but like my wife had no interest in this stuff at all. Then she sat down and watched Revelation with me. I watched Revelation. Then my wife watched Revelation with me. Then my kid seen like one episode and goes, "Can we go back?" So I went back, watched all of Revelation with my kid and my wife. Then we watched Revelation again because Revolution was coming out. Then me, my kid, and my wife watched Revolution. And, like, we love this series. And now, all of a sudden, my daughter, she'll come in this room and she'll sit down in the chair back there. Ooh, there it is. And she'll sit down and she'll look at the shelf and she'll be like, oh, this. And she's able to name them and she's excited. And then when she sees somebody she doesn't know, she's like, who's this right here? And then I'll kind of go in, we'll talk about it and everything. This has jump-started her interest in it. We go to the store and she looks at dinosaurs. She loves the Jurassic Park toys. But she'll go to that and she'll look at all the Jurassic Park toys and then she'll hover over to the Motu section and she'll be like, do we have him? And she'll say it that way. Do we? Yes, we do. Or no, we don't. Who do we need? Who's still coming out? Who's next? Like, I love that. I love that this has been something that has sparked the imagination of my kid as well, and I get to share that with her. It's so cool. It's such a cool thing. And yes, that would be an absolute hardcore definition of bait and switch, and it would end. There's no way they would recover. It is the Princess of Power 40th anniversary. That I was unaware of. That's actually really cool. And the fact that you just told me that, there's no way. There's just no way. So we've done Revelation and Revolution. I don't know what the next one is going to be, but she's going to be in it. There's just no way she's going to be in it. She has to be in it. Like, she has to be in it. I'm curious about anybody that's in the chat right now, just in general. Does anybody here, do you have YouTubes as well, or are you just kind of in hanging out? I'm just curious in general because I'd like to follow some people and kind of check out what maybe you guys are talking about. Because I see stuff like unboxing and stuff like that, and I don't know if we're talking about videos or if we're just talking about we collect and we love this kind of stuff. Because if there are some channels in the room, let it be known, because, well, first off, I would like to kind of check them out. And also at the second hand, anybody else that's in the room, maybe it'd be cool for them to kind of check out your stuff too. So that's interesting. Actually, Princess of Power 40th anniversary is 85. So 2025, 83, 84. He-Man is 85, 86. Oh, sorry. So, yeah. 83 and 84 was He-Man. 85 and 86 is She-Ra. Yeah. So, that's interesting. Because it also means, in the way that animation works, it's going to take time. We are not going to see the next episodes this year. And this is 2024. And so if we are to say that this has to be She-Ra, She-Ra has to make an appearance. If we do another 5 episodes and those episodes drop, say, next year or 86, sometimes animation takes a truthfully long time. It's not a simple process. There's, as far as I'm aware, and I'm no expert, but as far as I'm aware, animation has 3 main passes, where the first rate of animation is not really animation, but more like cells that kind of show an idea. The second rate of animation is simple plug animation, where they kind of do, for the most part, they animate it. And then that's their last chance to fix things, where they could say, this is wrong, fix this, swap this around here, this guy can't do that, I need a better battle scene at this needs to be a little heavier handed, whatever. They can make certain adjustments at the second phase animation. They haven't put enough detail in that it can't be altered or add scenes or remove something or yada yada. And then the third wave pass is when they start adding heavy details. At that point, there's no turning back. You screw it up, it can't be fixed. So that's my general understanding of how animation passes work in the Netflix industry in general. So it could take till 85, if not early 86, to see the next Motu. And if that's the truth, that would put it perfectly in line with the 40th. It has to be Adora. It cannot be anybody else. And I'm on board for it. I am 1,000% on board for it. Absolutely. I'm not sure what that means for having a channel. All you need is a cell phone to have a channel. Perfectly honest with you. If you have a cell phone and a tiny room, even a back room, even if it's just a blank wall, and you just got on and did like small videos that talked about your recent experiences with whatever, you could be a commentary channel on latest Sentai, where all you did is just go in and say, saw the episode, this is what I think, blah blah blah. You could do TikTok mini videos and things like that, only like 10 minutes or whatever. Like, there's no reason to believe that you can't do it. You don't have to be able to buy stuff. If you have a phone, if you have an internet connection, if you have a webcam. I mean, look at Magus X1. He's been on here forever, off and on. He was one of the early game channels back when YouTube was first just starting out, and all he did was sit on his couch and put his laptop down and hit the button, talk, and then hit the button. He didn't even do any editing. That would be kind of neat. Let's see here. There were 2 seasons of He-Man in 83 and 84. Yes. Each had 65 episodes, so that's 130 Filmation He-Man episodes. She-Ra Season 1 was 65 episodes. Season 2 was 28 episodes. That's 93 Filmation She-Ra episodes. And they were, of course, considered the second part to the He-Man series and whatnot. So, yeah. Actually, the She-Ra figure came out in 84. Okay, so it depends on what argument you're making. Neither one of you are necessarily wrong here, if you get what I'm saying. But this could be a back and forth argument depending on different levels, because the She-Ra Princess of Power series came out September 9th, 1985. But she actually first appeared in 1984 in the story of She-Ra. Says, while Adora, She-Ra's first on-screen appearance was in 1985, the animated theatrical movie He-Man and She-Ra, The Secrets of the Sword, her actual first appearance was in the 1984 created and published The Story of She-Ra. So the toy came out, and she was technically published on paper in 84 and came out with the toy. But her appearance in more public media, which would be like the, like we were arguing, the show in general, that would have been 85. So we're getting, say, they could go with this a couple of ways. They could release the toy. They could release a new She-Ra, new Eternia toy, right? New Eternia She-Ra toy this year. To say, hey, this is where this falls. Princess of Power, 1984, 40th anniversary, bam, toy. Then they could put the series, the next wave of animation, out in 2025, which would coincide with the anniversary of the animated appearance, and it would still be right on both sides. And it would be really cool to get a Masterverse New Eternia or Anniversary She-Ra in the line. Because the She-Ra we got is not the She-Ra that was the toy that we knew. It doesn't have the seashell armor or things like that. It's a very different kind of toy. But that, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying that it is. The Princess of Power toy that we got in the current Masterverse line is representative more to the show and an idea like that, not necessarily representative to the original toy. So if we got, just like they did Anniversary He-Man, we could have get an Anniversary toy. And that would be cool for the 40th anniversary toy, and it could go back to the seashell armor that she had and everything, and really hit that nice. And then the animated part of it could be celebrated later. I know this is stupid. What would be your reaction if me, just a fan of yours, got a role? I would tell you congratulations. Just like I support the I'm not going to say her name right now. I support a fan that's currently in the group that is working on becoming a writer and a director in general, and that's specifically what she wants to do, is write for stuff like that. I would tell you congratulations. I mean, look, man, we all got things that we want to do. Either succeed doing them or fail trying, and either way, you deserve respect for having gone for it. Setting her up for revolution. Hey! Man! You got here real late. No, I'm messing with you. Because I only do 2-hour streams, so like I got about 10 minutes before I sign out and I show up. Hey, what do you want to talk about, man? It's been cool though. Like absolutely fantastic. Everybody came in and hung out and actually stuck around, and this is why I love my streams, to do this, to keep the conversations moving, to like, because like, yeah, I do a lot of the window shopping and stuff like that, which is something that I enjoy to do, but for right now, like, we just did that on last week, and last week we checked out a lot of stuff. By the way, anybody that was here, I bought her. I bought Neve from Mythic Legions. I couldn't not do it. I couldn't not do it, man. Barbarian. Warrior woman. Nord-looking girl. Very much clicked a lot of my boxes. One, you know I like things like Red Sonja. That's what got me into a lot of this kind of stuff. Two, Barbarian. 3, Nord-type character. Very much looking like she belonged in something like ESO, which is the only online multiplayer game like MMO that I've ever stuck with in my entire life. I love that game. I don't know why. I just keep going back to it. And next, then I get to looking at the character, and she's an elf. Take the money. Money don't even belong to me anymore. It's your money, Mythic Legions. Just go ahead and take it. Put it in your wallet. I bought her. I could not buy her. That's awesome, man. I hope you did a good one. Actually, I don't know what you did, because I was here, to be fair. But I hope it went well. I hope it was a good show, man. Clarify. The reason why conversations usually devolve into Toku, I have many interests, but people here aren't in the know about them. I don't know about that. I think I do notice you tend to hyper-focus a lot into like one thing. In the time that I've known you, man, you talk Sentai. If that's what you're into, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Neptunia, I guess I wouldn't know too much about that. Web series SMG4. I'm drawing a blank. Maybe I don't know what that is to be a... I mean, that's two things. But then, like, also, like, you were the same guy that was like, I don't think anybody really in this group likes Persona. Man, the Fandom Night group has played and beat every Persona. All of them. Like, I'm just saying, man, we have a lot of interests. Like, that's the reason Fandom Night is kind of backing away from some of the hardcore focus on Sentai for a while. We have to, man. We've been doing nothing but Sentai content for what feels like years. And actually, it has been years, actually. Because I just ran the entire master list. By the way, master list is available on Fandom Night now. The entire playlist is available in a giant, like, top to bottom. So that's cool. You can go in and you can check all that stuff out. And we are set to relaunch tomorrow. And Fandom Night will be back off the ground. and we'll just be running. At that point, it's all about getting the playlists back in order, setting all the tags right, fixing the video screw-ups and whatnot where things were broken apart and need to be put back together, deleting content that's no longer viable in one way or another. It's going to be a massive project, but we got a lot of ideas moving forward. It's going to be good. I went all in twice on Mythic Legion Rising Sun's wave and have 8 of the dual pack of male-female dwarfs from me. That's awesome! Chess set! What did you just say to me? Chess set? You made your own, like, Mythic Legion's, like, chessboard thing? What? That's awesome. That's, I kind of want to see that. Like I kind of legit want to see that. That's crazy to me. My mind is picturing something almost like in Mortal Kombat Armageddon chess. Was it Deception or Armageddon where there was chess combat? Because that's where my mind is going right now. It's something like that, but like on a Mythic Legion scale. Like that's too freaking cool. I know you told me your daughter, watched SMG4. You told me during a Discord voice chat she showed it to you. Not sure. I don't know what SMG4 is. Whatever you're... I don't know what that is, man. Yes, I made Mythic Legion chess. That's so sick. Each square is 4 inches. Like, my mind is picturing something, like, truly shockingly cool. Like, I can't help it. It really sounds awesome. Let's see here. It's the guys that do the Super Mario videos? I mean, I guess. Okay, well, we are coming up. We are entering the end. Okay, I'm an hour and 56 minutes. I only do these for 2 hours. That way I guarantee I don't want to burn myself out. And quite honestly, there's another reason that I only do these for 2 hours, because I have to keep my mindset that I have to come back on Fandom Night channel at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That's not when we'll be going live, by the way, just to let you know. We will be launching at 10, but the group has to get together at 9 to set the stream up this time, because this is going to take a little bit. It's going to be a very different setup than what we're used to. Joran Rune Shaper. Okay. You're talking about the Mythic Legion's character. I know I can't name them off the top of my head like you just did, but yes, I've seen all the Mythic Legion's stuff in general, if that's what you are referencing. So I'm positive I could easily find out what you're talking about. Because let's see. That right there. Let me go look at him real quick, because I'm positive I've seen all of these. I know that I have. Unless this is not what you are telling me right now. Bam, bam. No, yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's the little... He's like the dwarf dude with the super long beard, the blue armor. He's got the big wings and the huge, like, I don't know if it's fair to call it like a trident thing. Maybe it's a wand of some sort. I know him. That's Joran Rune Shaper or whatever. Okay, I do recognize him. I recognize him. Thord Ironjaw, though, maybe I don't know what that is. Let me go check that real quick, because I might not know what that one is. Click. No, okay, this guy I didn't, for some reason, this guy I didn't recognize, but he's cool. He's like this little dude, he's got the orange beard and everything, so that's cool. And then the last one I need to check to see, Otho. Dupe. Oh, okay, I've seen this guy too. I do recognize this guy right here. He's, I guess, what I refer, he's got the big axe, he's blue, he's got the armor. I'm trying to think of, is that like a paladin? Is that what I'm looking at here? He looks cool. I don't know exactly what I would reference him in terms of, but I think that's the feeling I get from him when I look at him anyway. One side is blue. One side is blue. One is elves in green, orange, steel hide, silver. Okay. I have 16 jors for body and armor. Oh, so you're doing like customizations and whatnot. Okay, I see that. I bet you that's really cool. I'm sure I've never watched these. Like ever. Every time I see them, I just get like meme setting with them, and then I just kind of move on with my life. Like I see them and they just look so goofy that I've never been able to take them seriously or even actually watch the videos. So I just kind of see them and they're very meme heavy, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I just kind of move on with my life. So you would know way more about something like that than I ever would. Ever. Like, ever. Okay. I have a show tomorrow, so I do actually have to get out of here. I keep putting it off. I keep being like, we're going to leave, and then I don't leave anywhere. But, like, I gotta be up, moving, and on the Discords by, like, 9 a.m. if I'm going to get the stream up for Fandom Night tomorrow. And it's going to be a setup that we've never had to do, so I've really got to be ready for it. So, I am going to sign out. If you hung out with me even half of this time, let alone all this time, awesome. Thank you. It was really cool having everybody here. This was fantastic. I loved all the questions and everything like that I got and things that I was able to talk about and whatnot, because that's what these are primarily about, is just hanging out, talking toys and whatnot. And anyone, I don't have anything else. I don't do the whole beg for subs and things like that, so that you're not going to hear that from me. And I don't know anything else to say, but bye. Thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody was awesome. And this is a normal thing. If you just discovered this or whatever, then I will be back next Friday, same time, same Bill time, same Bill channel, and I will be hopping out of here later on, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.